This was the last tournament I did before I stopped competing about 6 years ago, and it went bad. See, at this point in my life, I was done. I didn't want to spend hours of my time training, I didn't want to spend time and money flying out to yet another tournament, and more importantly, there were other parts of my life that I did want to spend time in.
It is now 8 o'clock at night and we're starting sparring training. I just finished teaching the last class.
In the past, I've wondered what would have been different if I hadn't gotten injured and needed surgery. It took me out of sparring for about a year, and although I was determined to make it back, it also gave me time to explore other things like content creation that I fell in love with. I found that I love telling athletes stories, getting the precise shots of a kick landing and scoring, and sharing parts of Taekwondo that weren't as available to find back then.
Taekwondo is a really cool sport, but I feel like a lot of the things right now just don't make it into a spectator sport, so I kind of want to change that.
I also launched my online teaching platform around this time, and my entrepreneurial self was so excited I could make a career while helping others in a sport I was so passionate about. Mix that in with wanting to detach from a relationship that I felt so pressured and unhealthy in. I wanted space away from anything to do with competition, and I got it. At the end of 2019, I got accepted in a full scholarship to the University of Utah's Masters of Business Creation program. I'd spend the next year building out my online teaching courses with a mission to help take what I had learned in my Taekwondo journey and pass it on to others that were eager to learn.
11:07 at night, still at school, still editing. I think this video is finally exporting and I have gotten half of my page done.
I love the classes, being surrounded by other entrepreneurs, and the new challenge I could do while still keeping Taekwondo in my life. And then, COVID happened.
It's Master Sammy here, and I'm going to be going through what we are doing as far as all the changes that are coming up due to the coronavirus.
For my Taekwondo channel, I thrived. I got to meet so many athletes and host so many online classes during this time. It was great to connect while everything else in the world felt so unstable. And then I got married. A new adventure to focus my attention on with a wedding, buying a house, getting some dogs, and even going as far as starting my own dog rescue. It may sound random, but if you knew me as a kid, I was always trying to bring home lost dogs to my parents. And my most recent adventure, having a baby. Staying active while pregnant was tough, and I decided to sign up for a tournament to have a specific goal to focus on. I competed in Poomsae at the 2024 Utah State Championships while 6 months pregnant, and surprisingly, I won. This was such a healthy start to return to my relationship with competition. I had baby Jet in the summer of 2024 and spent the rest of the year adjusting to mom life and learning how to keep a baby human alive. I feel like I got it easy because honestly, he's such a great baby. I kept wanting to stay active after having him, so I started off with little kicking workouts. Nothing too crazy, just to keep my body and my mind healthy. The beginning of 2025 hit, and with all the competitions happening in Salt Lake, including AAU Nationals and the USA Taekwondo American Open West, I signed up and committed to competing in Poomsae at all the tournaments. I'm honestly not sure what happened next. About 3 weeks before the American Open West tournament, I got a crazy idea that I wanted to compete in sparring. Up until this point, I had been doing Poomsae training and kicking workouts, but a sparring class was the last thing on my mind. The registration deadline was around the corner, so I decided to attend a sparring class, see how I felt, and then decide. And you can guess what happened next. I loved it. I was exhausted, I was beyond out of shape, my body was slow and not flexible, but it felt so good to turn on my sparring brain after all these years. So I had to try. I signed up to spar at that next competition and truly was just excited to feel like I could be back in the ring again. I only had one opponent, but I feel like it was a great fight and re-entry into sparring. Winning felt great for sure, but getting to have my baby there with me and feel like myself after a whirlwind of a year of changes was a real win. I'm happy. Training looks so different now as a mom, and I want to go into that a bit more in depth in a future video, but for now, I'm just happy that I was able to get back in a ring. My upcoming goals include fighting at the US National Championships in about a week, and I'll for sure be filming that whole adventure. If you've followed me for any amount of time, thank you so much for being a part of my Taekwondo journey with me, and there's so much more to come.